Hey guys, it's Rebecca, and today I'm going to be talking about the first book that ever made me cry. Now, I usually don't cry a lot in books. Sometimes I'll cry in movies, but not very often, and I think the reason why I cry in movies more is because I can see the action that's going on, and in a book that doesn't always happen. Recently, I was reading The Book Thief, and this book was making me bawl at the very end. Granted, it was about 11:30 at night and I was tired from work, but I was crying so much and I wanted to talk about why this book in particular made me cry and be the first book that has ever made me cry. I think the thing that I love so much about this book is how real the characters seem. At the beginning, who was going to die, because the narrator reaches his death, which is a really cool concept, but the narrator tells you, he basically spoils the book for you during the time that he's telling it. So in the beginning I knew that Rudy was going to die, and I was really sad about it because I really love Rudy and he was such a great character and I really wanted Liesl to kiss him, but I really loved his character and I was really sad for him to die. And I had an idea about how he was going to die. I thought it might be on the battlefield because there was talk about him going to fight, and so I thought, you know, he's going to die on the battlefield and we're not really going to get to see his death unless it's one of those little comments from death that are inside the book. But that is not at all how it happened. I never suspected that he was going to die with everybody else on Himmel Street in the bombing. I was not expecting that at all. I was not expecting Liesl to be there when he died, and when he was dead and dying and Liesl was bending over him and she was kissing him, that's when I started crying. Such a heartwarming moment, and everything from the beginning of the book was coming to fruition. She kissed him finally, but Rudy never got to actually have a kiss from Liesl, which was one of his main goals throughout the whole entire book. At different times in the book he would ask, "Come on, Liesl, give me a kiss," and she'd be like, "No, I'm not going to kiss you." And then at the very end she kisses him, and then the second round of deaths that made me cry was Mama and Papa, because they took Liesl in when she was down and when she was needing help, and they took her in and Papa helped her learn how to read, and then death spoils the fact that they're going to die, and my mouth kind of dropped open and I was thinking, no, like, they can't die too. Why do they have to die? They were dying and Liesl was holding the accordion and she was screaming "Papa, Papa" on like the road trying to find him, and I knew this was going to be a sad book when I went into it because I had heard about it and I've never seen the movie, but I know that the movie's sad, and so this book was going to be sad, and that was going to be the first book that ever made me cry. But I think Markus Zusak did such a great job of writing this book, and I think having Death narrate it was such a clever idea. I'm not a big spoiler person because I like things to be a surprise, but I think having Death spoil things throughout the book made it so much better. When you're reading the book at the beginning, you don't pick up on a lot of the foreshadowing that happens throughout the rest of the book. I think the characters were just so well written and I connected with them so much, even though, you know, they're 14-year-old Germans who are living during World War II. I connected with them so much that I didn't want to let them go, and after I finished the book, I just lay there looking at the ceiling, trying to process what I had just read, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up the next morning still trying to process what I had read the night before, and I didn't want to put it back on my bookshelf because I wanted it just to sit there on my nightstand so I could still look at it and think about the beauty of this book. If you have never read The Book Thief, I would highly recommend it. It's kind of a long book, but I would give it a shot. It's taken me so long to read it, but I really enjoyed every part of it. I never found a slow spot. I never had a point where I wanted to put it down. That's all for my video today. What books have you cried in? Let me know down in the comments below. And until my next video, happy reading!